Do you want me to do the clap test now, or?
You could say hello to people.
Hello, people. Welcome to another live taping of the Was It Good podcast. We're going to get started in just a second, but my crackpot producer wants me to do a clap test first. So, there's your clap test.
Wow. Wow.
Professional here. So
Yeah.
professional. We're actually joined by a very special guest, Courtney McNulty. I said that right, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Now you get to try and say our last name.
Nope. Yeah. That's exactly how you say it.
Yeah.
Actually,
Nope.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Ravi, nope. Christian, nope.
Wouldn't that be like Leslie Nope?
Yeah. That's true. That name's already taken. Damn.
Yeah, I don't think you could come up with a cool new last name.
Yeah. Well, so how many episodes of Mandalorian, first of all, are in this season? Because
8.
I keep forgetting.
8.
So it's the same as last season, right?
Yes.
Okay. Very
Oh,
interesting.
Juicy looks like he's running into a technical problem
There's
here.
2 audio lines. Just trying to figure
I
out which
knew
is
it.
which.
I knew I could hear something weird.
Actually, there's 3 audio lines.
Do you want us to talk one at a time? What will be easier for you?
Well, there's input, capture, there's something called Ravi, and then Skype guest, which we obviously need.
You can kill the first one. You can kill the
Input, capture.
Ravi one. Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
So we should be
Courtney, can you just do a quick little test for us?
Yeah. Hi.
Nice and simple. There we go. Clap test.
Perfect.
It's caught on. I've started a trend about syncing audio.
Everyone must clap before that podcast.
Clap it out.
Oh, wait. I need to add the Skype to the other ones.
Oh, okay.
This is too easy to drink, man. I'm almost done.
Courtney, are you like us? You know, with the whole stay-at-home, working from home, work remote. Are you also starting 5 o'clock on Fridays an hour early, or is that just an us problem?
Smart.
What?
She can
Smart.
neither confirm nor deny these allegations. They're not allegations, but yes.
And Courtney, you're a lawyer, correct?
I am.
There we go. That would be
Okay. How do I?
Right.
So just add the Skype track. So if you hit the plus sign, over, down, plus, nope,
Right
Yep.
there.
and then do NDI,
Oh, this thing's so complicated.
and then select, yep, and then just put it all the way at the bottom so it's behind, or that works too. And then when you transition, it should show up.
I'm going to test audio on YouTube real quick. I'm going to test audio on YouTube.
Oh,
That
looks like
works.
it works. Very
Nice.
cool.
Very nice.
Could you
Randy,
imagine-
I like this new overlay. Wow.
Could you imagine if we were doing this with film? God, so much.
Real quick, our thing looks a little cut off on YouTube. You see that? What is that?
Yeah, that's fine. That's supposed to be that way.
It is?
Yes.
How am I supposed to vote?
You can. He hasn't started the poll yet,
Oh,
so.
that's weird.
Let me just make sure. I got audio on each of these.
Okay, testing.
Hello, my name is Krishna. Courtney, why don't you count to 5?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Thank you.
Cool. I think
I
we
think
are
we're good. All right.
Sweet. We're gonna start this thing for real now, with a beautifully written intro.
But how do I start? Let me start the poll real quick.
Oh yeah, how do you
Just hit start poll.
I'm just gonna.
There we go.
Oh yes, I can't wait to vote. I don't even know what the poll is. I'm so excited. Is the yeah? Oh man, you could have gone with is the New Republic the new empire?
I thought about that, but the problem is we know
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
the New Republic ends up, and we know what becomes the new Empire.
Right.
So I prefer.
You don't want to be confused.
We've
Yeah.
seen.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of live action, like the Mandalorian is the most we've seen of the New Republic because the New Republic just dies in Episode 7, and
This
then
is
you
very
don't
true.
have the New Republic obviously in any of the other movies. So, this is the in season 1 and 2 of the Mandalorian is our best look at the New Republic,
the New Republic, which makes sense.
We'll
which
see.
looks a lot like the Rebel Alliance.
And Courtney, just so you're aware what we're referring to here, so within Twitch we started a poll right now, which is the New Republic just a bunch of thugs? We're obviously going to get into this once we get into the pod, but first let's start with this really cool intro. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the main entertainment of your evening. We are Was It Good? We are trying to answer that question that has eluded so many for so long. Sure, we talk of such things like character development and CGI and continuity, but let's be honest, it's a fast-paced world. We're busy people, so we tell you what you want, what you need to know. Our word is final. We have spoken. I'm your host, Ravi. We've got Christian Arjuna in the house as usual, and we are joined by a very special guest, Courtney McNulty. Courtney, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, thank you. It's great to be here.
Nice.
I appreciate that, and like I like to do with many guests, and I like to put them on the spot, and I, like to get feedback. How was my intro? Like, how was my delivery?
Do it a little bit more off the cuff. It sounds very like you're reading it word for word.
Yes.
Slowly but surely. So he's actually a lot better than he used to be. Like before, he would be like, "Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the main entertainment of your." He would be like mumbling and stumbling, but he's gone better.
Yeah, he's now not complete dog shit.
Wow, appreciate that, guys. That's really, 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 really nice.
It's called constructive feedback.
Yeah, just
You
just
have.
just be less crappy.
Okay. Okay. That's just wonderful. One thing with this intro, Christian once again forgot to mention in the intro that we're talking about the Mandalorian, Chapter 10.
I mean, I dropped some nuggets in there.
These are references to Season 1, but cool. We're doing Season 2, Episode 2, The Passenger. I'm going to just spoil it, a filler episode.
We'll discuss, because I have some theories. I think we all do, obviously.
Yeah, I don't think it's a filler episode.
It
Yeah.
felt like a filler. Like, I felt full afterwards.
Oh, that's
Mostly because I was eating breakfast.
Full
I
on
mean, isn't
entertainment?
every episode a filler? It fills time and space for you to watch, and things happen, and you either
Yeah,
like them or you don't, or you think they're important or not.
right. It's either significant to
Or it's
you or
not.
it isn't. Yeah.
Before we get into all the various subsections here, we'd like to obviously start things off by going around the square table or round table and asking each of us presenting our one-word impression to kind of recap the episode. And it could obviously be about what we saw on television, or it could be about your experience of watching it. One word to kind of sum it all up. Krishna, you are bald, so you get to go first.
Yes. I knew this would pay off one day. My one-word impression is Staples. And I am not talking about the Office Superstore Staples. I'm talking about this episode, I think, had some staples of the Star Wars universe. Specifically, spaceflight, which actually doesn't appear all that often in Mandalorian. Droids. It's been a while since we had an important droid character. And I'm not saying we had, let's say, an important droid character in this episode, but I think, and we'll go back to how you said it was a filler episode. I think there's more importance to Richard Ayoade, his character. I think it's kind of Moss. Yeah,
Call him Moss.
Moss from the IT crowd, correct. And there was one more staple that I'm totally blanking on. Cute aliens, maybe. Or
Puppets.
Puppets, yeah, maybe that's what it is.
X-Wings.
No, we had X-Wings. But yeah,
Dave
I'm gonna go-
Filoni.
Dave Filoni, there we go. A Star Wars staple himself. But I'm going to go with staples because it brought back some staples that I think that don't always appear in The Mandalorian, and it was kind of nice and refreshing to see them.
I would, to follow up with that, I would say, I think maybe the one area that you're missing in terms of staples.
Yeah, maybe it's the one I forgot.
It's the X-wing sound.
Oh, yeah.
There was
sure.
so obviously big spoiler here towards the end of the episode.
Wait, what?
At the end, yeah, we spoil everything. At the end, where we thought it's all doom and gloom and everything is over, we hear the classic X-wing and the noises, and I was watching it with Lauren, and I was like, "Oh, those are X-wings," and she's like, "You're a fucking nerd," and I was like, "But it's a classic sound. It's a classic sound.
Yeah,
So
it was
a
obvious.
staple of Star Wars."
Right.
There you go. You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, sure. I didn't even think about that one, but you're right. You're absolutely right.
I win.
Yeah.
Courtney, as you're the guest, you get to go next. Next, what would you say is your one-word impression of this episode?
I'm going to go with deceptive because I think a reaction from a lot of people is it was just a filler episode. But if you pay attention to all the things that went on in it and all the, the creatures that we saw that I'm sure we'll discuss shortly, like the Krykna and Dave Filoni, and, there's a lot of like Rebels references. And I think that that's kind of indicative of where we're going in The Mandalorian and a lot of things that we'll see come up. So I think deceptive works because it wasn't just a filler episode. It gave us kind of a lot of little Easter eggs, a lot of hints as to what's going to happen.
I 100% agree. I really felt like this episode, its main function is to like set up the rest of the season. I think there was quite a few elements which I'm pretty sure aren't going to last only an episode. So, I totally feel that. Yeah.
Speaking real quick, I mean, we can jump around. This is
what
we can jump around. This podcast.
We have an outline.
You brought up probably what was my favorite part of the episode, which were the space spiders or the. You said it correctly. The Krykna.
I thought it was
Krykna,
Krykna, but it could be.
Which these amazing, interesting creatures we obviously first see in Star Wars Rebels on the Bindu planet is what I call it.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Wow.
You reminded me.
out.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I forgot to.
You guys don't throw on Rebels when you're trying to sleep? I don't either. I should.
No, because if I threw it on when I'm sleeping, I'd watch like 2
you
seasons
wouldn't
worth,
sleep.
and I wouldn't sleep.
That's a great point.
You can sleep when you're dead.
Oh.
But those creatures are quite interesting, not only because obviously it's a throwback or it's a connection to Star Wars Rebels, but also if you look at where those creatures first come from, which is from concept art from Ralph McQuarrie for Empire. And I was looking at some of that concept art, and I believe it's from Hoth. When Luke is in one of the caves, he runs into these creatures. And I forget who wrote up an article, which to me at the time of reading it seemed kind of like we're making way too many connects, where it's like these are the creatures that connect to Luke Skywalker in some way. I was very confused, but hey, everyone has an opinion. It's fine. It's very okay.
Real quick, before and I know we'll come back to them, but can we just clarify something real quick?
Sure.
They appeared on the Bindu planet in Rebels. Does that make them dark side creatures? Do they have like the dark side of the Force inside of them? Are they evil, or are they kind of like the Bindu himself, like totally neutral? I don't remember everything about them. So,
Courtney, do you remember that one from Rebels?
I don't. I'm trying to think. I don't think they had a dark side connection, but I could be wrong. I thought they were just monsters.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we are obviously jumping all over the place here, but like we clearly, the child does something, somewhat, I guess you could say evil, which is he eats one of the
evil
unborn. I mean.
Ravi,
I don't
you
know.
said
We're
you
getting
said
into
it.
like Peter.
Yeah.
Rules here.
You said it right. The only reason Baby Yoda is forced to eat frog spawn and baby spiders is because the Mandalorian is undefeating him. He is malnourished, not getting enough nutrients.
That's not true. Ravi overfeeds his cat, and his cat's always hungry and will eat anything.
Plus, he throws up.
Wait, you want to get Peter involved? That's how you do it, Trina. Good job.
But moving right along here, back to our one-word impressions. Arjuna, you're the youngest, so you don't get to go next.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm going to do it.
Go ahead.
I'm going to.
You're having a top grand finale?
You're delaying right now?
I'm delaying because you can go ahead. I don't have mine off the top of my head.
Wow.
I come to these things unprepared.
I'm going to go with redo.
Jim, there's a theme here with you this season.
No,
so
because
far.
thematically, this episode reminded me a lot of episode 2 from last year. Just in that it continues right after the first one. It really bridges. There's something with the ship. The ship breaks down. They're kind of stranded and have to do stuff with things. And so it reminded me a lot of that. And so I was like, redo.
I guess we'll ask it right now, June. Are you worried? Is this show in trouble?
No, actually, I don't want to spoil my position.
Okay, nice.
But I thought this was a tighter episode. One point I don't think I made clearly last week was I actually thought last week's episode was long and it felt bloated to me. Like it felt like it was.
No, you definitely said that.
No, I talked about other things, but I don't think I necessarily talked about the length. And this episode didn't. I thought it was like the right length. While last week's episode I thought was too long.
Too long, sure. I think this one was 10 minutes shorter?
Yeah, 12. I think last week's was 52 and this was 40.
Oh, 12 minutes and 38 seconds shorter. Yeah. Good job.
Where did the 38 seconds come from?
I don't know, Jude. I just assumed you would know.
I
To the
didn't-
second.
I didn't know.
To the second.
I just remember there being a 52 and a 40 when I was looking at it yesterday. I don't know why that image just popped into my mind.
And that's Arjuna, folks, the uber geek nerd of us all, who looks at runtimes of things.
It was right there on the thing.
Sure.
June's writing a thesis on length and how entertaining it is.
Please actually go for your master's and make your thesis about like runtime on like television movies and what it really
There is a
means.
whole psychology around runtime. Like the,
I'm
pacetime-
sure
pacetime
there's
is
marketing
is a
and-
huge thing.
But
in terms of everything.
I've been reading more on like writing novels and screenplays and like how to
Sure.
structure that stuff. Pacing is huge. And since I've been like reading it, I've been like paying more attention to how different shows and movies like pace their stuff. And it's at least in the Western world it's a very specific formula.
Science.
10% of the movie or show. 50%, 75%, the last 10%. You know, it's all divided up very neatly, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, to be honest, because it makes things kind of predictable. Like, oh, this is what I should expect here.
It's almost like a company that is like a big conglomerate company that's probably behind the show The Mandalorian, probably heavily invested in that science.
It's not science. It's not. It's just simply. It's simply like it's like Shakespeare. Like this stuff has been around. The three act. No, the three.
There's psychology
Yeah.
behind it. For
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that definitely is right, but it's based on like something that's very old. Like it's from like Shakespearean, like the 3-act play, and like things happen at a certain time for the greatest amount of tension. So yeah, you're right. It is totally psychology, but
Attention span.
I kind of hate that we're having this like kind of high intellectual conversation,
it's not
and then I'm supposed to bring in my one-word impression.
I hope
and
it's something like
it's very
ice,
it's very
frog.
it's very stupid.
Spiders.
No, it's chubby.
Oh God, here we go.
And I'm going to use the word chubby because so recently I started, actually about a year ago now, I started the long, expensive process of building a Mandalorian set of armor, right, to match the show. And part of that process, you need to go back and you need to look at reference photos and video all the time. So anytime I see the Mandalorian, I get, I pay attention to a lot of details and things or whatever. And there were a lot of shots in this episode where they were shooting kind of well below the eye level, and the Mandalorian was standing, sideways. So you can kind of like see, he's a chunky dude, which is fine. There's nothing bad with that. But,
Pedro Pascal isn't chunky.
well, I have a theory that
This was not Pedro Pascal.
this was not Pedro of this episode.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, yes,
Um,
chubby is the word I pick.
Your eye for detail is so interesting.
It's not
what
good.
it picks up on. But it does make sense, right? Since you've been like heavily involved in like dimensions and measurements of the armor and how it's supposed to fit, it makes sense, I guess, that you would be like, "It's wrong."
And just as a reminder, we are obviously live on Twitch, so for those listening, you can always tune in on twitch.tv/wasitgood. Throwing to our chat real quick, couple of questions here from Crowdy Chowda. The armor will have the does have the Mudhorn signet. Signet?
Signet, I think.
I'm bad with English.
Yeah.
It's going to be great when he changes it in 3 episodes.
Well, there was a part in this episode at the very beginning when he's on Tatooine leaving, and there's a little... Is it a Jawa creature?
No.
No, it wasn't a Jawa.
Well,
the one
little
that took
one
his,
to the
his
jetpack.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
he was like about to like use what looked like a bazooka on him. And I was like, oh great, the armor's about to drastically change. I did have a moment where I was like, oh god, no.
I thought that part was actually pretty fun.
Oh, it was hilarious.
He just messed with the guy and it's like, all right, now I'm going to kill you
Yeah.
by basically ejecting you into the lower atmosphere and then dropping you.
That was
that was the best cold open of the show since it started. It was so good, so funny, so savage how he just slams the guy back into the ground. It was good. The knife to the child's throat, you'd never think you'd see that. But
What do you guys think? What do you
Yeah.
guys think though? And this has happened several times, and I keep thinking about this. Like when the guy is up in the air on the jetpack and then comes all the way down. Obviously, the Mandalorian's watching, but Baby Yoda is also watching this guy like plummet to his death. Now, Baby Yoda's seen a lot of death in his couple of months, maybe.
you've seen it. The child has seen some
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. Do you think Do you think maybe this is going to influence the child in a very negative way?
Absolutely, and I think you kind of see that with
Like Darkseid.
with the child. If you go back to season 1, where the Avengers assembled on the ship, and you have Cara Dune, and then there's a feel of threat, and he force chokes her. Remember? So I think there's certainly some negative influence to the Mandalorian, because he's not a fully good guy.
No.
He's a gray guy. He's in these first 2 episodes, he's done some not so quote unquote good things. He's left people to die. He's tricked people, et cetera, et cetera. So
he follows his own code.
exactly. He's not a Jedi. He's not a
Right.
Jedi. He's not fully good. He's not fully like he does stuff for himself. Like you could say he leans towards doing good things. He helps people out.
Yeah.
But he's not necessarily the most. He's not the best role model, I would say. And
He is the best
maybe
role
that comes back to bite him in the butt someday.
When Baby Yoda is teenage Yoda and Mandalorian won't let him date, so he bye-bye, Mandalorian.
Moving along here. Courtney, do you have our outline by chance up?
Not up.
Oh,
no.
okay. So we do have a fun section here where Arjuna kind of recaps the entire episode. We were going to have you go through and run through it so that we could get your take. But what we'll do instead is I'm going to go through and read it, and then I kind of want you to, in the moment, agree if that's accurate or that makes no sense at all.
So basically, these are like these are almost like chapter
Chapters.
titles of the episode that Juna has created.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Right,
So then this is all Arjuna. This is not. This is not the.
Technically, you guys, you were my brothers, and I grew up with you guys.
What do you mean were?
Yeah.
dead?
Yes, you guys are I've sadly passed on.
Emancipation.
No, but you guys obviously we grew up together, so I was influenced by both of you. So you have to actually take credit that this is your fault.
No.
Anywho, here we go. I hate sand. It gets everywhere. It's Arjuna's first chapter. That make any sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
They're on Tatooine. Yeah.
It's like day.
That's hilarious.
Actually, I made a similar comment earlier today about that. You're like, he must be so jacked and in such amazing shape and not chubby because he carries all of this shit across the desert. That was wild. So yeah, I agree with that one.
Okay.
It's true. It's true. It's like hardcore farmer walks. Like stuff on his back and he's just trudging along.
And also the fact that he doesn't remove any armor, God, that's insane.
He never removes his helmet.
He's got some really good
He
fan system in there.
sleeps with the armor on. Do you remember that? We'll get to it.
Yeah. Bedding with roaches.
Half agree, half disagree.
What's the what part do you
Bedding?
disagree?
Yeah.
Or the half that you disagree on?
The roaches part? Was it a roach?
Which part? Yeah. Which part are you referring to, Arjuna?
When he goes back to the cantina,
that's right.
and there's the roach looking. I don't. It's not
Oh,
a roach.
that was
like an
obviously.
ant.
That was an ant.
Yeah, but betting with roaches just had a better
Betting with
thing.
ants.
It came out better.
Betting with
betting with ants is
roaches.
just kind of like
Sure.
betting with ants, but betting with roaches.
Someone in our chat was saying more like a mantis.
Oh yeah, like a mantis spider. Yeah.
That. That's why I was confused by roaches.
Same. I was like, wait, did he try stepping on something?
Yeah, I was like.
Moving on. Cute thing alert in all caps. I didn't want to scream it to blow out anyone's ears, but
My ears.
cute thing alert.
Sure. If we're talking about Frog Lady.
Did we actually ever get her name? I feel terrible.
No, she's credited as Frog Lady.
Oh
at
my.
the end.
That's Frog Lady.
That's
Wow.
incredible.
Froggy.
Froggy.
Yeah.
The child is gonna eat all those eggs, isn't he?
He's certainly gonna try.
Yep.
I mean, that was hilarious. So the best part about that whole thing is when so they agree and she's like carrying up her eggs up the ramp, and it's like this scene you see Mandalorian's like a close up of Mandalorian in the back behind him, like far off. You can see the frog going up the ramp, and Baby Yoda is sprinting up the ramp behind her, and it's hilarious. He's just like, and it's the funny thing. It's like a 2-second shot. That was the best part of the episode.
X gonna give it to ya. Also in all caps.
Yep. Agree.
Not Hoth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, did we intentionally not learn the names of these planets today? like where he was going to end up? Did we learn where he was supposed to end? What planet he was supposed to end up on? Did we learn that the name of Not Hoth? And I just missed it.
I think they definitely mentioned the planet that they were supposed to end up on.
It's a moon. It's a moon that they're supposed to end up.
Trask, something like
that. That he's taking her to.
Right. So for her husband.
I don't know where they ended up. I don't think it's ever mentioned.
Unless the only reason we would know is that Dave Filoni or the other X-wing pilot is like, follow us to the outpost on. I thought they said Delphi, but that might not be that planet either. There's like, come with us to the outpost somewhere. Well, and I don't know what that is.
What was interesting is, so, one thing, way off topic here, but when the first promotional material and trailers started dropping for this season, everyone on YouTube does the trailer breakdown. And one of the interesting things were, like, a lot of the scenes that we saw in this episode, in the trailer breakdown, people thought that was the planet Ilum, which is the Force planet where you go get your lightsaber, or you rip it to pieces and you make a Starkiller base. But I don't think that that was this planet, so that sucks.
But it could be, right? If these spiders are related to
the Force.
The Force, and maybe, who knows? So, who knows? We'll never know.
We will.
No,
we could probably go look it up.
They're never going to reference any of this. In fact, next week when we pick up, it'll be a completely different story. The ship will be repaired. The frog lady will be gone.
No.
Baby Yoda will be gone.
Oh my God.
The Mandalorian will just be Boba Fett.
No. We see Frog Lady again. Isn't she in like the trailer for the season? Like we see her again, like on another ship, I think.
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
Backpack.
I think we'll at least see her next episode.
Yeah, I definitely think she's not going anywhere soon.
I mean, she's got Baby Yoda or the child's
like favorite
snack.
Yeah.
Popcorn.
Yeah, basically.
Nuggets.
Moving on to the rest of these chapters here. So, Moss from IT crowd voice cameo. See, it's a connected universe.
Does Disney own IT crowd?
No.
It's just connected to the, it's connected to the first season.
What?
It's connected universe.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
Yes, it does. There's a character from season 1. It's connected.
Unbelievable.
I think that's a stretch. I'll agree. I think that's accurate, but I think it's a little bit.
Can I make
like technically he's right, but
can I make a play? Can I make a play to try and connect it real quick?
Sure.
Okay, here we go.
Wait, IT crowd?
No, the whole thing. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Okay. So, Disney owns Lucasfilm. Lucasfilm created Star Wars, part Disney Plus. Okay, cool. That makes sense. Disney also owns ABC Networks, and ABC Networks has connections with other like distribution points and networks or whatever, like Sky, whatever it's called in the UK. I don't know if this is correct, but I believe IT Crowd does like play on one of those networks that is like owned by ABC, which is owned by Disney. So therefore, in some weird way, it is all connected.
Wow.
Oh my God, that's the most like 8 degrees of separation thing I've ever.
Yeah, and also it might not be true. It might be.
It might be made up.
Might be one of the British networks that isn't owned by. But like we don't know which network.
It would have been nice because they did do an American version pilot with Richard Ayoade.
Yeah.
But it was NBC.
Damn it.
Dang, that would have been the connect right
that
there.
That would have been it. Yeah.
Darn. Or maybe Richard and oh my God, who plays Mandalorian?
Pedro Pascal.
Maybe they have the same agent. There you go.
There you go.
Simpler one. Here we go. Wait, is this literally just the snow version of last year's second episode?
Oh yeah, you kind of teased that already, didn't you?
I did. Yes, at least thematically. I felt there were some similarities.
Yeah, I can't remember last year's second episode.
I'm trying to think so I can say yes or no, but I can't remember.
So the reason I said that is last year's episode. It's similar in terms of like the second episodes pick up right where the first episodes end, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it is the Mandalorian with the child looking to leave. In the second episode last year, when he comes back, his ship is being taken apart by the Jawas. He has that whole chase with the Jawas and all that type of stuff. He actually kills a Jawa in the episode, and we're all like, "Oh my God!"
He killed a few.
Jawa.
He
used his
like,
rifle.
my
Remember?
Yeah, he kills like 3 or 4. I think.
And they just blow up.
Oh yeah, the disintegrated rifle.
But so what reminded me was like the bleeding into it, and then the ship kind of being disabled somewhere. And so like that was kind of what I got.
Sure.
The thematical theme of it. And then he also fights the Mudhorn.
Right.
Because that's how he gets it back. They ask him to do this, and then he makes that deal. And so there's a beast. The spiders are kind of the beast.
That's That's interesting because in that episode, now that you've said all that,
When
Baby
you see the
Yoda.
child yeah, I was about to bring that up.
But we don't see him using it in this episode, and I thought there were so many times he was going to do it.
You think right before the X-wing show up, they have a shot of the child, and like it looks like he's about to do something and save the day, but then he doesn't. And I wonder if they're trying to tease something here because through 2 episodes, through a quarter of the season, right? We're at the quarter mark of the season. We haven't actually seen
quarter.
The quarter.
You want a coffee too?
Quarter.
The quarter.
Quarter.
Why you say it so weird?
Quarter.
It reminded me of home. You can talk about it.
The quarter mark.
I don't like it.
at this point of the season, we have yet to see the child use his magical, finger powers, as some characters have referenced to it. And there's been many moments in these first 2 episodes that it would have come in handy with the dragon, with these spiders,
with the knife at his throat.
Yeah, it would have been, even to soften his blow when he's falling off of the speeder. He took a hard fall.
Yeah, there's a reason for that. Like, there's definitely a reason that he's not using it, and I'm with you. Leading up to something big's gonna happen with him and his.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think there's definitely something there.
Can I throw out a theory? Maybe because he's so young, he can only use the Force so much, and maybe he can't use it for a while until he builds up enough experience points to level up.
No, that's not.
And then
how
you
that
can
works.
put ability points into the Force power.
Stop bringing
this is not an
D&D.
RPG.
It might be.
Stop it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Let's see Arjuna's chapters here. Naked bath.
Naked bath. Yeah, that's
She
fun.
was naked.
She
She
was.
was. You saw her use her tongue to get the clothes, then throw them back on, and they didn't show us. That it was very appropriate. They didn't show the naked frog lady. It's a family-friendly show. It's on Disney Plus. This is for the family.
It's a family-friendly show, but the main character disintegrates young or small aliens and sends others flying up. Okay, yeah, family, my butt. Oh fuck, those are eggs.
Yeah, when the spiders start to hatch.
Yep.
Which so I was watching this with Sahara, and as soon as he took the eggs away, and then the child goes for those other things, she was like, "Oh my god, those are eggs."
Yeah.
Because they've thematically been building that up through the whole episode, right? He keeps eating these eggs. He likes eggs. He's going for an egg, and you're like, "Oh."
We also know he likes frogs.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. He ate that frog in one of the episodes.
Episode 2.
Might have been.
Yeah, I think it was episode 2.
See, there's
Wait a
more
second.
thematic
Wait a second.
connection.
He ate a frog in episode 2. This episode has an actual frog lady.
I'm telling you, it's a connected
Name the
universe.
frog egg.
So what can season 3, episode 2? How can they up their frog game?
A frog eats the child.
A frog planet. A frog eats the child?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Or she's meeting up with her husband, Mr. Frog, Frogman, so maybe he organizes the eggs next week.
Yeah. To raise their frog kids. I hope his name is Franklin.
Icy, was it Shelob?
Yeah, Icy Shelob.
Yeah, from
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. That was what I thought. I was
Honestly, it reminded me exactly of Lord of the Rings and/or Harry Potter. Aragog would have been another.
I said that when I saw the big spider come down. I literally said, "Oh, it looks exactly like Aragorn, this gigantic spider with all the little babies."
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
There's a lot of spiders in all of these big, epic franchises.
Well, spiders are a very primal human fear, right? So
I guess
makes sense to put.
I mean,
throw 'em in as much as
I
possible.
don't like spiders.
Yeah.
Do you like spiders, Arjuna?
I do. I have a pet spider. His name's Spidey.
Using the fucking fireman. What?
Use the fucking.
Use the
fire.
fucking fireman.
Yeah.
So I was screaming that at the whole episode because he has the fire and then he doesn't use it until they're almost back to the ship. Like, why didn't you lead with that?
Yeah.
You have this flamethrower. Just burn the bugs.
Because the gun looked cool.
No, I understand it looks cool, but it's about survival.
Yeah, no, you're right. But maybe he only has so much gasoline in that thing.
Gas is
Some expensive.
Yeah, I'd
thing.
still lead with it though, so at least you have a little bit more of a buffer to get ahead. Burn them and run.
Sure.
Okay, so if anyone is listening that has this ability, somebody build an escape room where Arjuna has to run away from spiders, give him those tools, and let's see what happens.
Yeah. See how long it lasts.
Yeah.
You can't use a flamethrower constantly.
I'm just saying he could have used it there, and then it would recharge because this is magical
Maybe
Star
it
Wars
wouldn't.
recharging world.
Maybe it would.
And he could have used it again instead of just the once.
He's not a wasteful man.
Well, when we finally used it, it was a good scene. It was intense with all the spiders and, with the door closed. So they waited for the perfect, cinematic moment for him to use the fire.
Absolutely. The greatest, cinematic impact. Nailed it. Yeah.
X gonna save ya.
X gonna stay.
Yep.
Wow.
Have you been listening to a little bit of
DMX
lately?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Oh, you play beer pong like you have. Unbelievable.
And I win.
That cool shot of the Razor Crest in the trailer on its last leg is just the ending shot of this episode. Sigh.
Wow.
That's a chapter title?
That's a
that
chapter
was a chapter.
description. I don't know.
Yeah.
Some of these get long
Yeah, clearly.
in the tooth.
That was like a subline.
That was a full sentence.
Yeah.
I get it.
It does.
Some
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. It makes sense. Well,
So
that's our chapter.
That's Arjuna's DVD chapter listing
for a 42-minute episode. Or 40-minute episode.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice.
Nicely done. Nicely done, Arjuna. Let's jump around a little bit more because I love doing that. Let's go specifically into theories. And let's talk about the Lady Frog for a second here. Now, Courtney, obviously you're a guest here, and you don't know all of our histories here, but a member of this podcast has a unnatural and very bizarre fear of frogs. For some reason,
It's a phobia.
it's a phobia.
It's a legitimate phobia. I've had it forever. It could be the smallest frog, and I'm running the other way every time because they are creepy to me. Like the eyes are too big, their cheeks inflate too much, their tongues are too long, they jump too high, and the sound they make is unnerving. Right? Like everything about them is creepy. Yeah.
So this episode must have been a nightmare for you. Like, some people hate spiders, but you had a frog with its big eyes. And then at one point, she even gets down and, jumps around like a frog.
So this is actually where Star Wars actually did a fantastic job. Star Wars created the first and the last frog I will ever be sympathetic to. Because she had such human qualities,
Yeah.
emotions, and characteristics. Like, she was a mom. She's like this a lot of the time. Like, oh, I'm worried about my eggs. Like this. And when she was passed out, on the floor, dead, I was like, oh no, not the frog, mother. And then I was like, what am I saying? Kill the frog. Yeah. But I was like, I'm so conflicted. No. And this is the strength of Star Wars. Clearly, they make these puppets. And in their mannerisms and their eyebrows and just
facial features,
the facial features
Yeah.
and their movements, and they make them so they can portray a lot of human emotion. So it's true. Even though I have this phobia of frogs, she was, like I said, the first and last sympathetic frog I will ever see ever again. So good job, Star Wars.
Until episode 3 when you see her husband.
Yeah.
And let's jump there real quick because I think everyone said at the beginning. Courtney, you also said this episode is clearly potentially not a filler. This frog lady has clearly a special place in Christian's heart, but clearly is going to play potentially a potential bigger role in this season. One of our notes in here is she actually telling the truth about her husband seeing other Mandalorians? We know that the kind of the run through here is the Mandalorian needs to find other Mandalorians in order to complete his whole thing. Courtney, where do you have a theory in terms of where this could potentially go with Christian's favorite friend of all time?
I don't think that she's a huge character. I think she was kind of just a plot device to get the Mandalorian off of Tatooine to get him to where the other Mandalorians could be. I don't think she has this deep, backstory or more important than what we saw in this episode. But I could be wrong. But I just think that she, like I said, she was just a means to an end to get him off the island.
Yes, off the island.
There we go.
He was off planet, and I think that she was just a way to get.
My gut instinct is you're totally right. Like her purpose is what it is. The only element that makes me think she might be a bit bigger of a role than we think she might be, is her ability to. She clearly has some technical expertise here. She took that droid and turned on his voice to basically translate her to the Mandalorian. So I just wonder, that's like a very useful skill. So I wonder if that's going to pop up again.
Right.
I don't know. In the Star Wars universe, that was another thing we talked about earlier today. In the Star Wars universe, everyone has all this technology everywhere, so it's not like totally weird for her to be able to kind of
manipulate that stuff.
Hotwire a droid,
Absolutely.
I guess. Like, because technology and all this stuff is so ingrained in all of them. It's not the craziest thing that she would know how to do it. And they had to find a way for her to communicate with him somehow, right?
Yeah. I just thought it was an interesting choice that they chose that droid, and they chose her to do that. Like, you're totally right. Technology is everywhere, and everyone seems to have some kind of technical proficiency in something, right? Because you have to. That's just the world that we live in, or that they live in. Sorry. I just wonder. It's like, maybe if that droid is coming back, maybe she's the one to bring him back. Maybe.
No, it's super simple, right? The first season built the Avengers roster.
Oh God!
Through the season, and then the Avengers united at the end to take down the big bad evil man Moff Gideon. And that's what they're doing this season. They just you have another friend, this cute froggy lady
who can be
part
of the
in,
Avengers,
and she's gonna die, just like Quill.
Or
because
she's
they kill all the aliens.
Or she's the Doctor Strange of the universe, or the Black Panther, like the next generation of Avengers for Mandalorian.
She's part of the Secret Avengers, is what you're trying.
Ooh.
Guys, she's credited as Frog Lady. I don't think it's really.
Wait, but that sounds hilarious. like you've got obviously rest in peace Quill, but you've got Cara Dune, Mandalorian, Grief Karga. Frog Lady.
Cargo is Karga.
The child. Karga, sorry. Cargo. No.
Grief Cargo.
No. Sorry. I'm sorry, Grief. I'm sorry.
I have an embarrassing confession about the droid that she used. At the end, when they were saved by the X-Wing pilots, I thought that it might have been the droid that came back to life and was helping
100%.
them escape. So it was like another droid that Mando could not hate and learn to trust them more. But I was very wrong.
I actually thought the exact same thing. I thought that, oh my God, the frog lady, did it. She reprogrammed this thing all the way, and that he was marching around outside shooting all of them. I thought the exact same thing, and then.
But you heard the X-Men sounds.
Then the X-Men was like, oh wait,
and the pew 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 pew.
Yeah, and then we saw Dave Filoni doing what
Good
Dave
old
Filoni
Dave.
does. Yeah.
He loves. It's the same character he played, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
It's like because he played an X-wing fighter in season 1.
Yeah.
So it's probably the same character. They've listed the character name.
I mean, we are still in the Outer Rim area, so it would make sense.
Tatooine.
Yeah.
This ice planet.
God, learn the names.
They keep they reuse a lot of themes for planets. I feel like 3 of the 4 planets we saw in season 1 were desert.
Yeah, Tatooine light or heavy.
Yeah, exactly. Or like Tatooine like sepia tone.
Courtney, going back to your one-word impression, you had said that this episode was deceptive. I think we should dig more into that. In what ways, I guess, this episode you found to be deceptive as opposed to a filler?
Because, like I said, there were all these references to different parts of the Star Wars universe. And I think they're really trying to show that it's all tied together. And maybe not in the way that you were saying, like Disney and ABC and the UK.
Synergy.
But I think that they're trying to show, by having Dave Filoni show up again, by having this big bad from Rebels, and we know Ahsoka shows up, so I think they're really, it was really to show this is where it's going, we're going to meet all these people. And that's kind of my bold prediction for the rest of the season, because we know Ahsoka shows up. So I think that hooded. Can we talk about this yet?
Oh, we'll get there. I want to play devil's advocate a little bit first, because because I find it interesting. They're throwing all these references from other Star Wars lore within canon and all that fun stuff. One of the early reviews I had read, and I think it was Slash Film that put it out, was that the first few episodes of Season 2 feels like there's a lot of fan service, but potentially too much fan service. How do you guys feel about that when you compare, like, obviously with these first 2 episodes to the first 2 episodes of season 1, where it was obviously this brand new thing, we didn't really know what was going on?
I mean, I didn't feel like there was too much fan service from either of these episodes.
I think episode 1 definitely had more fan service with the boba.
And then the pod racer.
I think that was a lot more fan servicey, and especially like they wanted to come out and have talking points, from their first episode in a year, right? It's a big episode. You want to nail it. You want to have a lot of buzz around the show. So throw in Boba Fett, throw in his armor, throw in some fun Easter eggs, and you have the first episode.
I don't think it's fan service, so to speak. Because one thing about The Mandalorian is it's trying to reach an audience past the Star Wars people. So if they start cramming too many Easter eggs and too much, Star Wars fan service in there, they're going to lose the general audience. So I don't think I'm trying to take a step back and watch it from someone who isn't a Star Wars universe fan. I mean, I don't think it's too fan servicey, if that makes sense. Like, it's only fan service to people like us, I guess.
Right. Yeah. I guess the thing is you can have both, right? You can have all these elements that would appeal or could be construed as fan service to the people who know those extra properties. But as long as it's done in such a way where you're properly pacing and introducing those elements and you can explain them and you don't feel the need to know everything from those other properties to understand the characters or the elements that show up, then it works perfectly. And I get the impression so far, everything that's been shown has been pretty tight, like, to the Mandalorian universe. They're like cool elements. I'm like, oh yeah, that's really cool. We know that from this. But to the person coming in, it's like, you don't need to know that those spiders have shown up somewhere else, right?
No, certainly not. I think this episode did a better job of kind of balancing that. I thought last week skewed a little too heavily to the fan service and kind of relying on, here's X, Y, and Z. And even though you didn't necessarily need to know it to still enjoy the episode or watch the episode, I think the episode therefore loses some of its impact that if you don't know the armor, you don't know necessarily who that person is at the end, X, Y, and Z. While this episode, I think, to your point, did that. It had some of those fun fan service elements, but it still makes sense within the universe, right? Like there's a lot of fun in this episode. One of the funniest lines I thought in the episode was when he's talking to the New Republic, X-wing fighters, and he's trying to get them going. He's like, oh, "May the Force be with you." Like, it was so well done. May the Force be with you. Yeah, it was just like, it was so well done.
And then it's like, long pause. Oh, one more thing.
But that's interesting because he clearly he doesn't know what the Force is. No. But I think it worked. I think this works because he doesn't know what the Force is. Yeah. But he knows of the phrase, obviously. Yeah. So clearly, like, people know, like, oh, they say this weird hokey thing, "May the Force be with you," but I don't know what the fuck that means. It's like, cool, Yeah.
It's like please and thank you.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what the fuck those mean, but people say it for some reason.
Please. I mean, not quite like that. But I just thought that was a fun little...
Real quick, going back to everyone's favorite X-Wing pilot, Dave Filoni. David, sorry, excuse me. We're on a first-name basis. No. I got the impression from that scene, and then even the end scene where the X-Wings come and save them, that the New Republic are just basically a bunch of thugs at this point, going around and hunting down a group of individuals that don't follow their beliefs.
No, that's not what I got.
Too much of a hot take, or
I actually interpreted it differently.
Really?
I thought it showed them like to be too quote unquote like morally good and everything, right?
Too trusting.
Because they could have shot him down. They never shot him down. They saved him. They let him go when he clearly has done some illegal things, should be arrested. They're like, "Oh, you've done some good things, so just like fix it up." Like, they're very forgiving. And it's interesting because I thought this is, especially it being the Mandalorian and showing kind of the gray and everything, would lean more into kind of showing the good and the bad in a lot of these types of things. So I thought that was an interesting choice, that they were kind of painted as so like, we're just going to keep giving you chances. And it helps, like,
it does make sense.
It makes sense, especially within the context of this episode, especially because you need it to go that way for the episode to end the way it did. Like it, from pure plot standpoint, like they die without the X-wing showing up. So that's
Wait,
that's
what?
you kind of had to do it like that.
Yeah.
So I thought that was something that made me think.
I'm just saying, all you've ever seen of the Empire is potentially just propaganda.
Wait, what do you mean? We've
So-
seen them try to kill a baby, or
Where
at least
is
kidnap
the
a
baby?
They punched the baby.
That's true.
those soldiers.
That was two individuals. That doesn't speak for
Those
the
two
entire
comedians
Empire.
dressed as
Jason
speeder bike
Sudeikis,
troopers,
right?
scout
Yes.
troopers.
Yeah.
It's not all stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
like
man.
not all New Republic pilots are probably as forgiving.
That's true.
That's
It's
very
just
true.
these specific two.
Real quick. How good do we think the remnants of the Empire's lawyers are? do we? We have a professional. How
This
good-
is very
how good-
true.
How good do we think they are?
I have literally no idea how to
Right.
answer.
In fact, they probably don't
Yeah.
have any, right? I mean, they're an illegal. Are they considered an illegal group at this point? Are they like they're not a? Actually, what are they considered in the eyes of the galaxy? What are they?
Terrorists, right? They would technically be a terrorist.
Well, hold on. You had this organized group that was running things. They were removed
The
from
Empire.
The Empire. They were removed from
They
power.
were the government.
They were removed from power
Yeah.
via what I would call means of terrorism. Sure, call it
But-
whatever.
But like, yeah, technically, like the revolutionaries are terrorists.
Terrorists,
to
yeah,
the government.
yeah.
You know,
Right,
technically.
They were terrorizing the Empire. Yes, the Empire.
I guess
was bad.
according to the Empire, sure.
So then this new form of government comes in, and this old form of government was told to basically lay down.
They were told to fuck off.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, they were like, fuck off. So they're still running around and operating. So I guess they would be illegal, right? Because they have weapons,
Yeah.
ships, doing
They're
things.
still doing illegal things.
Yeah, so they would be.
So
illegal.
they're are they a criminal organization? Are they like Black Sun?
No, nothing would be like Black Sun.
No, why not?
I don't know. They just can't be.
They are brown, son.
Oh, my computer died.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do you need a moment?
Yes. Rest in peace.
Let's get into our bold predictions. Or actually, no. Before we get into bold prediction, let's go into our rants. Christian, we obviously heard yours on the frogs. And
That was a rant?
That was not really a rant. It was more kind of you coming to peace with your problems.
I kind of just penciled in Krishna rant on frogs because I knew you'd have something to say.
Oh, that's fair. I guess, well, I hope I delivered.
Courtney, as you're a guest here, do you have a rant that you'd like to bring up?
Yeah, the child was so fucking annoying this week.
Whoa!
Like-
That is a great
That's
hot
a
take.
rant and a hot take.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
a twofer.
Yeah.
Hot rant.
It reminds me that he is a child. Like eating all the eggs, like they're little baby eggs, man. Stop eating these eggs. And maybe like use your fucking powers to save someone. Like you have a knife to your throat. Like do something.
Oh,
So he just
yeah.
annoyed the shit out of me this episode.
yeah. That's hilarious. He acted like this helpless diva. Oh man, that's hilarious.
But to go back to the point we made earlier, like you're right, and it's like a recurring theme now through 2 episodes, and I think it's significant. I think it's something to kind of, watch out for as we continue to kind of go through these episodes of like, what is up with the child? Why is he not using his powers?
Do we think he's spoiled?
Why is he acting
Oh
out?
no! This is simple. It's because he is comfortable and he knows that the Mandalorian is going to jump in and save the day. So why would your defense would be a little bit lowered, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's a good point because Mando always saves them, so maybe he doesn't feel the need to exert all this power. Okay, but then what about when the giant fucking dragon was eating them last week
Yep.
and Mando got eaten and he still didn't use his power?
Maybe he's got kind of the whole Yoda thing going already, where he can see a future.
What?
I have a
No,
different theory,
No.
right? So whether you agree with the Jedi and the Force and their teachings, or the Sith and the dark side
the space
teachings,
wizards.
or the Sith and their dark side teachings,
Or the Bindu.
or whichever side you agree upon, there is still a lot of teaching involved with Force-sensitive people, or at least with Jedis that we have seen before within the Star Wars universe. That's how they're able to control their powers. That's how they're able to focus and all that type of stuff. This being is 50 years old, and
That's a point to Courtney. He's 50 years old. You think he would have learned some stuff in the previous 49 years, right? But he's a slow learner.
and
He's
he
dumb.
hasn't, as far as we know, had any formal training
Jedi,
of
yeah.
any type of thing. So it's like he has these abilities, but it's just as Snoke says in Episode 8, unlimited raw potential, and that's what it is. And so he doesn't know what to do with them, and I think that's what's going to be interesting, right? Because we're looking at, he's looking for the Mandalorians to find these space wizards, and we assume that he's going to find Jedi.
Well, he knows.
But
He knows he's looking for Jedi because
But
the
what if
armor
he?
said
But
that.
what if he finds dark Jedi? What if he finds Sith users, people that use the dark side of the Force?
Well,
I mean, we don't know the Darksaber. That was a huge closeout to last season. So, do you think that the child comes in contact with the dark side, the Darksaber, and that's how he awakens his power, and it's dark?
yeah,
Well, I think that's why I believe. So, if we're throwing out crazy theories here, I still think Gideon. So, you know how Papa Palpatine, he went to Esgol or whatever the fuck that planet,
Exegol.
Thunderstorm planet, with all of his cult followers, right? They're all cult followers. I think Gideon is also a cult follower of Palpatine. So he's not necessarily, oh, look at me, I have Sith powers. He's kind of more of that dark Jedi, that dark side follower.
He
type
knows
thing.
some stuff.
Yeah.
But
So I think we've kind of potentially I guess we have seen, dark users, if you will, in Gideon and his remaining remnants of the Empire.
Yeah, and I think there is obviously a connection between the child, the Darksaber, and the Mandalorians, right? Like thematically, it is all too close to all be like happenstance or circumstance, right? Like Moff Gideon is chasing the child. He has the Darksaber. He's come into contact with the Mandalorians before. A guy who wears Mandalorian armor is the one that saves him. There is something pushing these elements together, and what it is remains to be seen. But it's probably Jabba the Hutt.
It's either Jabba the Hutt, Jar Jar Binks, or Darth Maul from the grave. Those are the only three options it can be.
Or Frog Lady.
Gross.
Frog.
Those are all terrible.
yeah. Or Frog Lady's husband.
Oh my
What
god.
if he's the big bad?
Wait. What if
Nope, don't
Frog
say it.
Lady's
Don't say
husband
It. Don't say it.
It's
is
Jar Jar.
Think about it. There's similar types of characters, right? They got the
Oh,
tongues.
stop.
They're kind of amphibious. I'm just saying it could work. It could work.
That
That would be the ultimate Easter egg.
I
I would lose my mind.
Using Arjuna's terrible take, we'll move into our bold predictions before we answer that age-old question here. If we revisit last week's bold predictions real quick, for episode 10, our predictions last week, Christian said that this will take place on Tatooine. Christian, you do get the point because it did start out on Tatooine, so good job there. I had said that we would see a new Razor Quest. A new Razor Crest.
Kind of.
It's
like a half
it's
point.
all smashed.
It's fucked
You
up.
broken.
you probably got an episode early because you're gonna see
something.
you're gonna see the modifications in the next episode because it's a piece of shit now. So you just kind of jumped the gun a little.
Jumped the gun there. And then Arjuna, you said that this would be better than episode 9. We will wait to the very end to determine if that's true. Our previous guest, Natalie, had said that the shadowy figure will be seen from the trailer. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we got that because obviously we were on an ice planet.
Unless it was Dave Filoni.
Unless it was
Dave
Dave
Filoni's the
Filoni.
big bad.
But let's go into episode 11 predictions. Courtney, if you'd like to go ahead and kick us off, what do you think is going to happen episode 11? And then if you'd like to give us a season-long bold prediction.
Sure. My prediction for the next episode is kind of boring. I don't think we see Boba Fett again. I think that was kind of like a little bit of a red herring. So I don't have too much invested in seeing Boba. And then my season-long one, I think what I was going to say earlier is that the shadowy figure, we know Ahsoka's coming. I think a lot of people just kind of assumed it was Ahsoka, but I think that since in Rebels, Ahsoka and Sabine went off together, I think it's going to be Sabine Wren. Because she wields the Darksaber, because she was with Ahsoka, because there's so many Rebels connections, I think that she's the shadowy figure.
Nice.
To kind of add on to that, do you think we'll see Ezra Bridges?
Bridger.
Bridges?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't really, to be honest with you, given it that much thought because I don't know. I feel like you were saying earlier about the fan service. I feel like if you keep cramming these characters in, like it's going to be too much.
Right.
we got to see this person. We're going to see this. Oh, look, it's that person in the background. Like,
Yeah.
It might be too much.
I feel
but,
yeah. I feel like we're already going to get there. So, Courtney, you might not be familiar, but a few months ago, we were talking about all the rumored castings for Mandalorian Season 2. And I kind of lost it and was like, I don't want to see Rebels Season 5. That was a perfect show. This is a different show. I don't want to see half of the cast on this show in live action. And I feel like that's just going to play into fan service. But we'll see. I mean, it depends on how it's done. Last week, actually, my prediction for the season was we're going to get like a flashback episode that's kind of revolves around the Darksaber and will have all of those Rebels characters in it because they are so connected. And I think that would be the best way to potentially do it. Too.
I think that'd be really cool, especially for the people who aren't familiar with Star Wars lore. They might not know that was the Darksaber that Moff had, so that could be a really good way to kind of bring everybody into
and right, that's exactly what I was thinking. To answer your question of Ezra popping up, maybe it's a classic end of the season little teaser where he this is the Jedi that they leave him with.
And then season 3 of The Mandalorian is basically season 5 of Star Wars Rebels.
Right.
And then that's when you're going to quit.
See, Ezra,
and that's when I freak out.
See, so Ezra, I think, is a good example of too much fan service. He's a character who requires way too much explanation to make his presence understood. Oh, I've been away in a different part, in a completely different galaxy with Admiral Thrawn. Who's Admiral Thrawn? What do you mean? Where have you been? Wait, you're a Jedi? What? That's a guy that if you just throw into this show, that is fan service and is disingenuous to the people that Disney is trying to get, like the new fans, because he would require like an entire movie to explain. This is who this is, or you'd have to go back and watch Rebels. So.
And
Froggy Force.
And you could do that if you continue renewing your subscription to the Disney Plus service.
Wow.
If you want more seasons of The Mandalorian, you just need to have more accounts of Disney Plus. That's it. Ravi, you need 2 accounts. Krishna, you need 2 accounts. I need 3 accounts. Then we can get these Mandalorian spin-offs and seasons.
We're kind of running out of time here, so let's kind of quickly, guys, run through your predictions for episode 11, if you have any major ones.
I guess I'll go. I'm going to come up with one right now.
I can go. Let me go. So
do it.
It's what we said earlier, because it's so ridiculous and it's not going to happen, but I still want to put it down. Froggy's husband is Jar Jar. That's my bold prediction.
I love it.
It's not going to happen, but it's just fun to put
that
down.
should have been mine, to be honest. But it's fine.
I stole
it's
it
fine.
from you.
You've taken like the scariest character to me with my most beloved character, and you put them together.
I thought your most beloved character was Click Clack.
Oh yeah, damn. Oh,
so you should say the husband is Click Clack.
No, that's ridiculous. Okay, a Geonosian and a frog. No, that anatomically makes no sense. That's why I'm drawing the line. No, my prediction's gonna be. I think Frog Lady is going to repair the droid that is played by Richard Ayoade. That we saw in this episode, and I think he's going to be the new droid companion. I think it's going to be a long-term companion as well for the Mandalorian, because he needs help. He's not doing a good job of raising Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda is malnourished. He needs an attentive droid who's going to, regular feeding times, not allow him to have knives at his throat since he's not using the Force to protect himself.
Not fall for the fucking clothesline thing between two rocks.
Yeah, what? Oh, man.
I did like that they brought the Mandalorian back down, because episode 1 really made him like he could do no wrong. Like he did everything perfectly, right? Like he couldn't lose a fight. He was making all the right decisions. And this episode pulled him down a couple pegs where he made a lot of wrong decisions, put him in a lot of bad spots, and that's why I
needed outside help.
You're right. To Courtney's point, I loved the cold open because it was just kind of this like dropped you right in, a really cool action sequence, some comedy.
Funny. Yeah.
It was good.
I do want to point out though that even though he didn't see the stupid wire thing, the classic "I gotcha" type thing, he did still land on his feet when he went flying. So he's still cool. He's still badass.
Right, just because you're cosplaying as him doesn't mean you need to.
You called him
agree
chubby.
With
just remember
everything
that.
he does.
Yeah, and I'm feeling a little chubby as well. So we're the same.
Wow.
That's actually one thing I did want to bring up.
Yes.
Real quick here. So
From the chat.
From our chat, twitch.tv/wasgood. Did you notice that they knew about the child, meaning the trackers are still out there?
Yes.
And how are they tracking then?
Because Moff Gideon's still alive. Like, he's not dead, as we know. So
But were
Moff
they-
is still going to be looking for him.
They were after the child, though, right?
Yeah, they mentioned, like, specifically grab
the child.
But that doesn't prove that they were after him, because the guy who had him was willing to trade the jetpack for the child, which means that the child is like, oh, grab the child, use him as a hostage, or maybe you can sell him to slavery or whatever. But I don't know if that was like the primary target necessarily.
I think...
Yeah, I think the child was the primary target, and the reason that he took the jetpack is because he was by himself. His little partner was Dunzo, and then he knew if he tried to run with the child, that the Mandalorian would end him. He knew that, so he was like, "Okay, here you go. I'll take the jetpack and get out of here."
Well, that's interesting. Smart enough to take the jetpack, but not smart enough to.
And I think it's just like it was in Season 1. There are pucks. There's probably still pucks out there to grab this asset and bring it in. For an award, or for a reward, and because he kind of addressed the situation, it's like, I'm not gonna make it out with this. I'll take this jetpack where I can still get some money. The
Interesting.
bounty hunters.
Yeah. Or yeah. They're very bad bounty hunters.
So I think my episode 11 prediction is gonna be
No one asked.
new Razor Crest again. I'm just gonna keep.
No, you got to do a different
I
one.
got a completely new one.
Yeah, you can't.
Oh, jeez.
Yes. Oh, go ahead, pick one.
I've got nothing. That was.
Take Crowdy
Hey,
Shouters.
hey,
Take it.
Be bold. Be
Take
bold. It's a
bold
bold
Crowder.
prediction.
Take
Go
Crowdy
out on
Shouters
a
from the
limb.
chat.
Put yourself out there. You know, be a risk taker.
Be a man.
We see Boba Fett.
I am ended.
I thought you were gonna be like. There is an episode title to this show.
What? What, the next?
Because there's a title to every episode. Like, I thought he was gonna.
No,
completely
your prediction should be the next planet they go to is a water planet. We haven't seen that yet. We haven't seen that in the show. It's gonna be ice. It's gonna be ice, forest, desert, or water.
Earth,
or
wind,
or
fire,
like a
or
Coruscant type. Oh, they
City.
end up on Coruscant. There, that's my prediction.
Wait, you're
Wait,
going
for
with
next
that
episode?
or Boba Fett?
No, I'm gonna go with like they're gonna end up like a Coruscant type planet. It's like a big
city.
city type planet.
Metropolitan
Yeah.
area. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. We haven't seen that yet.
area.
We haven't seen
there
that
we
yet.
go.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like that.
But we are on the outer rim though still.
That doesn't mean every single planet has to be.
I think
just
it does.
desolate
I think
and-
every single planet is Tatooine.
I mean, if you think about it from a budget standpoint, it would be really expensive to make a city.
Their entire set is basically an Unreal Engine blown up on gigantic screens. They can create anything they want, but for some reason they keep creating nature.
Oh,
Because
that's
it's easier. That's easier to create than a fucking city.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true.
Oh boy! All right, kids. I think it's that time where we go around and we ask the age-old question of, "Did I do a good job?"
Was it Krishna?
No.
Oh,
Uh,
that sounds gross.
That's what you said you were making your spin-off called. Was
No,
it Krishna?
you said that.
No, you said that.
No, I didn't.
anywho, Krishna
Oh.
was Mandalorian season 2, episode 2, The Passenger good?
It was. It was very good. I did enjoy it more than episode 1. Not by much, because I really enjoyed episode 1 as well. But this one went a few different ways that I didn't quite see. My only gripe with episode 1 was that it was predictable. Like a very, we've seen that arc over and over and over again and everything. This one, it went a few different ways. I wasn't sure. I thought Yoda was going to use the powers. I thought the droid was the one saving them. Instead, it was the X-Wings that came back. Baby Yoda is trying to wipe out the frogs. Those are very surprising things to me by eating the frog eggs. So yes, I highly enjoyed it. Arjuna, was Mandalorian chapter 10 good?
Yes, it was.
Oh, thank God.
It was
Yes.
good. I enjoyed it more than the first episode. I thought it was more fun. I thought it was a better pace. And it's what I like about the Mandalorian. It's simple, but there's still a lot to kind of unpack, as we kind of proved in this last hour of just talking about it. And shout out to the director of the episode, Peyton Reed, the director of the first 2 Ant-Man movies. He clearly likes bugs. He likes ants. He likes spiders.
Oh, is that why? So it was definitely an ant then playing.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
an
It
ant
was
playing
definitely-
against in the cantina.
It was probably Paul Rudd.
and not a cockroach, because it's a little throwback to his Ant-Man.
Connected universe, baby.
It's all
That's what that is.
You got Marvel, Star Wars, it all connected.
IT crowd.
There you go. Courtney, was The Mandalorian Chapter 10, The Passenger, good?
Yeah, I liked it. I guess I'm the odd man out because I liked the previous episode better, but I still liked it.
Nice. And Courtney, you actually have to ask the very last person in the chain. Ravi.
Ravi, was it good?
It was wonderful. It was predictable.
What?
It was a very
Really?
it was a very predictable episode.
Wow.
I mean, the show.
I mean, the second you see the X-wings, you're like, yeah, they're gonna save them, and then you hear the noise. You just knew it was gonna happen.
What?
No, I didn't think it was predictable at all.
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought Frog Lady was gonna bite it, and I thought that
Yeah.
I thought she was gonna die. Like
Yeah.
when he was walking
Me
through
too.
the ice cavern there, I thought we were gonna find her dead body, and he was gonna have to take the eggs by himself. I thought.
Wait a second. Wait, did
Yeah.
you think this was a Disney thing? Disney does not kill and have a broken.
I thought at the very least they're gonna spend like end the episode still on the planet. I thought the damage to the ship and the spider situation. I thought they might deal with the spiders, but they weren't getting off the planet by the end of the episode. I thought we were gonna spend another episode.
I was
trying to
honestly
get off.
rooting for them all to be killed by the spiders. I thought the spiders were the heroes of the episode. They got disturbed. Their home was disturbed by these outsiders. I'm just saying.
I also agree with Courtney that I think episode 1 is better than this one. Just
Okay.
because I still feel that this episode felt.
Timothy Oliphant.
Well, there's that. I mean, duh. Boba Fett. And then also the
Yeah,
badass
sure.
sequence in the end. Like, you know,
Crate Dragon.
fighting the dragon, the cool, like, flip and the landing. And it's cool, man.
Yeah.
This episode was, you know, scary. And I hate spiders.
It was. I actually thought it was like surprisingly creepy, right?
I definitely
For-
got a nice shudder right down my spine of the spiders because it's a lot.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah, I was like a little shocked that it looked so. It always looks good, obviously, but it was like I was like, oh, this is interesting. Yeah, for a Star Wars Disney Plus show. It's like, okay, I see you.
It was an impressive spider. Like, you know, the mouth with all the teeth. It wasn't just like a big spider. It was a very violent beast.
Yeah. Actually, did those teeth remind you of something? Like the rotating, like I feel like
Like a Sarlacc pit thing.
ooh, Sarlacc pit.
Yeah.
Sarlacc spider.
Oh, God. They've mutated together.
Oh. Like Frog Lady and Jar Jar.
Oh, stop it. I think that's going to do it for us, guys. Courtney, thank you for joining us as we kind of, you know, go through these wild
pleasure.
rants of nothingness. Courtney, where can the individuals listening and watching find you?
I am at Courtney McNulty all over social media. So I'm pretty easy to find.
Awesome. And is there anything you want to plug while you're on here? Any other podcasts that you're part of?
I wasn't sure if I should do that, but yeah, I'm also on another podcast. It's called Nerdin' Out. You can find us on Instagram at Nerdin' Out and at Nerdin' Out LA on Twitter and Facebook.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
And Christian, that's something you wanted to plug?
Oh yeah, real quick. I think by the time this tapes today, if you like art, you should check out the creativebazaar.com. They're having a live fair on their Instagram channel where they teach you to do basically a bunch of do-it-yourself projects, everything from like clay to jewelry, stuff like that. So definitely check it out. Thecreativebazaar.com.
I have something to plug.
There you go.
I'm getting a PS5 next week, so I'm cool.
Wow.
You actually think that's coming and will be delivered on time. Good for you. Positivity. kid.
Are you gonna do a Was It Good?
No, I'm going to do my own thing. It's going to be called Was It PlayStation?
Anyway, thank you again for listening. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. You can always find us on Twitter at WasItGood, on Instagram at WasItGoodBTM. And as always, this podcast, during the season of Mandalorian Season 2, will be taping live on twitch.tv/WasItGood. And that is everything I have to say. Goodbye.
Goodbye. All right, nice. And we're still live though on
We are still live.
We are still live on the
yeah,
Twitch.
Crowdy Chowder. Crowdy Chowder.